Montreal, Quebec, Canada plays host to this beautiful Circuit Villeneuve for the penultimate round of the IWTR World Football Series Season 3. It's round 13 on the championship. We're 2 rounds left to go in this season. We're here for the Canadian Grand Prix. I'm still your host and your commentator Pauser. Today it is the second most important day for these drivers as the championship is getting closer to the end. We'll see if there's anything that's gonna blow out, anything that could just happen out of our minds. We just don't really know what to say, but hoping for that we have a good racing on our hands here at the Circuit Villeneuve. The track info of this circuit. This circuit's located, as I said, at the Montreal, Quebec, Canada. It's a 4.36 kilometer circuit, or 2.7 miles. 14 corners, 6 to the left and 8 to the right. It is the home of the Canadian Grand Prix of the Formula 1 since 1978. So that's about, I don't know, probably like almost 50 years, probably more than 50 years ago. Actually, it's less than 50 years ago, probably like 42 years old now for the Grand Prix itself. But due to the pandemic panned out, the 2020 Canadian Grand Prix didn't host, and the 2021 either, so they're gonna host probably 2022, I guess. So now with the track info out, also another thing to mention that the previous winners is Season 1. We have Sepp Plebs. He was driving with the Simtek Maranello, aka Sauber, and Koichi Hoshi with the same team, Sauber. So it looks like Sauber really like this track, but we'll see what happens here in Season 3 as we see. Well, these guys definitely gonna give it all for today's race. And next up is the championship update for the drivers and the Constructors Championship update. So looking on the drivers championship, it is a chaos. It's all hell breaks loose for the drivers championship because Mitch Johnson did retire after being hit by his teammate Prima Pilch at the Japanese Grand Prix, which that means he's now down to 1 point gap between him and the next driver, which is Sepp Plebs. Zoe Pedrojan, meanwhile, he is now third. He's followed only 3 points behind Mitch Johnson. And also with the penalties, Bivona, the penalties apply on the Japanese Grand Prix. Bivona got a 5-second penalty, and that gives second place to Senenkaya, who's now up into 18th place. But we're not really focusing about the people who've been knocked out of the championship hunt. But still, it is a quite interesting factor here because Senenkaya finally, after 12 races, was finally a podium scorer for his career in IWTR. And meanwhile, Akatini Bivona himself now with 15 points score at the Japanese Grand Prix, that puts him 91 points, which is 24 points behind Mitch Johnson. Johnson's teammate, meanwhile, Prema Pilch, who hit his own teammate, did get a fastest lap, but finished roughly in 17th. Pretty rough race for him after colliding with his teammates. Panos Kalezos didn't score any points. Same goes with Livin Pasalic, but they both just outside of the top 10 points. So top 10 scoring positions for them in the Japanese Grand Prix, which that means that would leave them 40 points and 43 points respectively. So the furthest out from the championship hunt, which is Simon Witt, who absolutely needs every single miracle that he could, because he DNF last race, which that means he just needs a win and hope that everybody just crash out or did not score points, which is quite impossible from my point of view, but anything can happen in Formula 1, and it usually does, just like what Murray Walker said. So, and moving on with the Constructors Championship, it is a humongous fact that both the top twos, Sauber and Red Bull, they are now tied on points, which is just absolutely bonkers with statistics. So they're now tied on points, which that means McLaren could maybe a little bit catch up, because they are now only 37 points behind both of those two teams. Same with Ferrari, who is up to 4th and only have 146 points, 59 points behind the two leaders. And Scuderia Toro Rosso, 5th place, 128 points, the furthest out, and the most points that you could score in a single race with two cars, it's 43 points, which that means the maximum of 2 rounds left to go is 86 points. So they're still in the title hunt, but what will happen, I have absolutely no idea. We're just literally going through into a barrier unknown barrier. So let's just wait and see how things fold out in this race. No news this time, and no news coming in for this race, so we wait and see what this round will bring us. So let's have a look at the starting grid and the formation lap of the Canadian Grand Prix. As you see the beautiful tracks here, it is quite an odd situation that we have came back to this circuit late in the season. So we'll see what happens. How will that change things up, or how it will spice things up? And here we go. And here we go. Now we're starting for the starting grid. Here we go. Tim Harrison leads the field and will get a pole position for this race. Alongside him is Rich Johnson, for the Sauber driver, the championship leader. Jafari Blackwood's in 3rd place. Luca Farina lines up in 4th place. Activity Vivona in 5th place, alongside Panos Glazos also, both of them being championship contenders. Walter Wagner in 7th place. Alongside him is Florian Wilson. Next up we have Zlatko Drobo-Zarjevic, who lines up in row 5. Alongside him is Sepp Plebs, another championship contender. Pedro Jean in 11th place, Livin Pasalic 12th. In row 6, row 7, Simon Witt and Henry Jaffra will lines up row 7, 13th and 14th respectively. Matthew Falcon and Prema Pilch lines up 15th and 16th. Norto Mella and Zayden Kaya will lines up 17th and 18th. And Dylan Hobbs and Nadia Baggins will round out the top 20. And here it goes. We're now back to racing once again after we're having a week break. 28 laps of action, so that is roughly 120 kilometers. So for those of you who are new to this format, basically we're running the race 40% of the real race distance of the real life counterparts. So for example, if this circuit is 70 laps, for example, 40% of it is 28 laps. So yeah, Tim Anderson will lead the field down into the chicane. Then you see the wall of champions waiting for it to catch anyone out, for if they made a slight mistakes or even about full mistakes. Don't know, we'll wait and see. There we go. Everybody is lined up on the grids. You see there's also the Audi R8 V10 Plus will still be with us for the medical car. Maybe even to the next season as well. But there we go. Medical cars lined up. We're ready to go racing. It is the penultimate rounds of the season 3. It's 5 red lights. And we're green at Montreal. Tim Anderson gets a flyer there. Mitch Johnson trying to go for it, but not quite enough. Jafari Blackwood looks on the inside. Now cuts back, and here it goes into turn 3. It's going to be really tight here. And here we go. Blackwood trying to go down inside Mitch Johnson. It's really side by side. Here it goes. He looks for it. Goes for it into second place. Everybody on the back seems fine there as well. Or maybe a slight touch there. Florence Wilson and Argentina Bivona. Here it goes. It is Tinaris leads from Jafari Blackwood. It's now McLaren 1-2 once again. And here goes Mitch Johnson in third place. Looks trying to move on Blackwood. Oh, wasn't enough. Okay, now I have to clear the save. Clear the minute car. Here we go. Come back on the. And we crooked the engine. Yep, that'll do. And here we go, back on track. Tim Anderson is in P1, Blackwood in second, Johnson in third. You see now Bivona looks on a go for Florence Wilson, makes contact with the World Champions. So it's still pretty okay for them. And there we go, yellow flag. Don't worry about it. That's for the medical car. Oh, Serenkaya hits the barriers, and I think not the barriers. I suppose it probably hit someone. Yep. The manner of... I think it was Manfred Falcon. Oh no, Tuomela. So he hits Tuomela, there he goes, the wing flies off. Thankfully it didn't hit anybody. Goes it. Medical car's already in pit lane, so that means we're good now. Tim Anderson leads from Jafari Blackwood and Mitch Johnson and Luca Farina in 4th. Panos Glazos up to 5th place. Before then 6th place, as you can see. Where the hell is... Okay, sorry for the language, but Plebs down 5 positions for his starting spot. That is not a good look for him, for the championship, at all. Unless if something dramatic happens. There he goes now, looks like, yeah, look at that, Tim Harrison just made up an instant 2-second lead over his teammate now. There he goes, Mitch Johnson trying to go for a move, and there he goes, Luca Farina, ooh, just very dicey there, lap 2 of the race so far. Nothing too shocking happens, other than Serenkai is hitting the wall. Livin Basalik still staying in his original starting spot, 12. He also might have a lunge on Simon Witt. He might try to go for it, but no, it wasn't enough. To this corner there, everybody just seems fairly comfortable. Slacko meanwhile, oh, maybe there's a move going on. Florence Wilson round the outside, long way around here. But no, Bivona hangs on. Here comes Zoripa Jajan now, 3 positions up of his starting spot. Now looks on the inside. What is that going to be enough? Stay on the outside, being cuts across there. This has to stay for 8 for now. Ooh, very close to the wall there. The Williams of Zlatko Drobozarjevic. Goes now. Drobozarjevic looks on the inside. He started 9th, stays the same right now. The gap is really close for anyone else. But you can see now Walter Wagner trying to make a lot of ground here on the Williams on the outside. Would that work though? Oh, Petrosyan lost the momentum, lost the traction. But he's going to try to retake that position anyway. You can see side by side, 2 of them side by side, 2 wide over there. Slacko still has a front in front, but Petrosyan is not giving up. He stayed behind first, so he knew that he could go for this corner. Oh, we're very close to the War of Champions, but I think he might have enough slipstream. But look at his teammate, he's also trying to overtake. There he goes, Walter Wagner, or overtakes teammate because Petrosyan trying to overtake on Zdrobo Saljevic. He just pinches it. on that turn 2, now into turn 3. It's gonna be so close to the wall. Don't hit each other. They hit, but they don't hit the wall. Petrosjan retakes P8, barely just there. And Walter Wagner lost a couple of positions there. Living Pasalic back on points for him. Back on points. So here goes Sepp Plebs also making up grounds there, up to 13th after being 15th. Last couple of races. Oh my goodness me! I think that's gonna be a safety car. Surely not. Surely that's gonna be a safety car. And Sepp Plebs, what the hell are you doing, man? Oh my goodness me, that was a huge hit. Oh, whoa, that is not good looking there. And that's setting, and that's Simon Vitt as well. Wait, is that Sepp Plebs flipping or something? Wow. That suspension part really broke it, didn't it? But Plebs comes back on his wheels, and it's now back on track, and no safety car. Somehow, but Simon Vitt is out of the championship hunt because of Henry Jackbrand. That's totally on him, to be honest. That's totally on him for Brown, in my opinion. But now because we're back on a normal situation here. McLaren both leading 1-2. Which that means Tim Anderson just barely, you know, he's 50 points behind Mitch Johnson. But if he would have won the championship, he would have need to won 3 races, including a Japanese Grand Prix as well. But it seems like it wasn't gonna worth it, to be honest. It wasn't enough for him, because if he's gonna win the next 2 races, Mitch Johnson was still won the title. He would have won the title by countback, which is the tiebreaker, which is the most wins. Mitch Johnson would have 4, and then Tim Anderson would have only 3. But we'll have to wait and see. If anything can happen in this race. Farina in 4th place. Nothing's really changed up front apart from P2 and P3 swapping each other. Panos Glazos in 5th place. Luca Farina gets a fastest lap time, 1:19.7. Then Fronger Wilson, 1:19.725. And there it goes. Oh, very dicey once again. Round 2 for Drobozaujevic and Petrosjan. Pasalic still holds on that 10th place. But he needs a win if he wants to stay in a championship hunt. So he's about 43 points out from the championship. So basically, he absolutely need a win. So, but I mean, could that happen? We don't even know. Here he goes. Propelled, looks on each side. Oh, just not quite enough gap there. And there he goes now. Is Anderson leads still, but look at that gap. Look at that gap. That is 2.6 seconds. So far from his teammates there, Jafari Blackwood. Goes now. Anderson sets a faster lap time, 1:19.4. Not going to be anyone seeing better lap times here. Bivona being under attack by Flondrick Wilson. Now Wilson looks on the inside on turn 1. How is it going to happen? And now long way around to turn 2. No, not yet enough. But she might have a move here on this corner. No, seems a little bit too dangerous, so she backs out. Petrosjan in 8th place, Zlatko still in 9th. And we're starting in 10th place. Here we goes. Oh, yo, big sight there, Wilson. Keep the car together. Keep the car together. She did, but that is a really close call there. You see now, Tim Anderson 3.2 seconds gapped. It's just massive gap now. Here we goes. Well, Mitch Johnson very close on the back of the McLaren. The previous race winner, the Jafari Blackwood, is looking on for another podium finish. So that will be 3 races in a row that he will score a podium. If it would stay like this, though. Because Mitch Johnson, he also cares about the championship hunt as well, so he might have to go make a move as much as he could. Oh, bang wheels. Little bit of dangerous though. But he tried to make a move, but he makes contact with Jafari Blackwood. Maybe he probably gonna try to send a message. Hey, I'm there. I'm trying to overtake you, but now they're busy fighting each other, so probably they couldn't be able to catch up to Tim Anderson here. But the team orders, probably for McLaren, that he wants Jafari Blackwood to hold on as much as possible. Maybe for the Constructors Championship as well. If they stay like this, 43 points, that means, well, they're up to 2nd or 3rd, I think, in Constructors. Here we go now. Flandre Wilson looks to have a go. Please don't hit each other. That is very, very close to being contact. But there he goes. She has lots of gap to go for. Is she gonna try to go for it? Here we goes on board with her. Down inside into turn 13. Bivona not giving up. He still hold on. He stay in front. Cuts across her. There he goes. Is it going to be a move once again? She might as well try, but no. Try to go around the outside once again. No. Not worked, because Wilson is going to go to pits 1 lap earlier than anyone else. Tim Anderson as well. He's ran out of fuel pretty quickly. Ran into a pretty low fuel very quickly. There you see Sepp Plebs vanishing in 18th place, last place, after Simon Vitt and Henry Brown out. Simon Vitt being one of the championship contenders as well. So that's it for him. Here goes now Johnson. Oh, he looks to try and go for it again. Very slidey car there for Jafari Blackwood. It's just about to hold it together. There he goes, Tim Anderson, the leader, pits. Probably gonna undercut the Sauber if he didn't held up anything at all. So here he goes, Anderson into the pits. Usually the pit stop would take around 5 to 7 seconds. 6.8, not so bad. Not so bad for him. Tim Anderson just come out of the pit lane. Flandre Wilson now into the pits. What time is it going to be for her? Prem Pilch also coming to the pits as well. That's going to be 6.71. All being held up a little bit on from Tuamela. Still, Wilson still stay in front of Prem Pilch. 6.73, 6.68 for Walter Wagner. Setting Kaya, he could overtake him. And then you see Noah Tuamela 6.75. So not bad for all those pit stops. Here we go, Jafari Blackwood. Whoop, hit this lap. So minimally, you need about 1 or 2 laps to come in. But if you're going bold, you're probably gonna stay out for another lap, which that might be the reason Mitch Johnson might even gambling for. Oh, it looks like Mitch Johnson is gambling to stay out. I'm not gonna say anything about it, so. And there goes Pedro Jean also going. Everybody else going to the pits. Dylan Hopes not coming in. Same with Mitch Johnson. He might have some strategy difference here. But there he goes, 10 hours and just right behind Dylan Hopes, which that means they have to do a quick stop now. Here he goes now, Farina. How is his pit stop's gonna be? 7.57. He just gonna comes out in front of Panos Glazos. Glazos just coming out in front of behind Jafari Blackwood. So Blackwood will get 5th place. Then Glazos, then Bivona, then Pedro Jean, and also Livin Pasalic as well. Drovo Zaljevic in 11th place. Prema Pilch, there he is. Is he gonna come out? They're gonna, please don't have any crashes. And Petrojan up into 8th place. Flunger Wilson down to 9th. Pilch just pinches it into 10th place. That means Pasalic will lost 1 positions then. Well, that's a little bit of a bummer for him, but he probably try his best he could. On the next pit stop, here he goes. Mitch Johnson, just about. It's quite low in fuel, but he's going bold there, going overstop than anyone else. But you could see there, Anderson is just right there, and Dylan hoped start doing any favors to Tim Anderson as well, but Anderson can use that as a slipstream if he wanted to. There you see Mitch Johnson just finishing the pit stop. Here he goes, Dylan Hope, fast flowing into the 8.16. That's really a terrible stop there. Here he goes, Tim Anderson just coming out of the pit lane. Could he overtake the lead? Back again, but Mitch Johnson just coming out of the pit lane. He has more room, and here he goes. Just about to get in front there. Tim Anderson in first. Farina up into 3rd place. Mitch Johnson overcut it. Jafari Blackwood's dropped to 4th now. So Mitch Johnson up into 2nd place. Back to where his starting spot should be. Tim Anderson is really just on the roll here. Blackwood in 4th place. Lasers in 5th, Bivona 6th. Pedrojan 7th place, Wilson in 8th. And then you see Prema Pilch in 9th. 12 laps in. Nothing too significantly happens. And there we go, Zedenkaya also in the pits. Livin Basalik up to 10th place. I think that's because of probably Dylan Hobbs, who pitted earlier. Who pitted earlier in lap number 11. Now comes out in 16th place. So this could be tough now for Sepp Plebs now, since he's just way further from the field. Unless it's a safety car happens. Because Tim Anderson back with him. He might take a win after all, but there's still another pit stop to go for, but he's on board with him. So they go under the bridge once again into the chicane. The track, blast it down towards the hairpin. This is the hairpin where John Lacey ran out of fuel after he won the 1995 Canadian Grand Prix. And also Michael Schumacher carried him back to the podium place. But well, back on the action here. Luca Farina in 3rd place, up 1 position. Blackwood. He said he definitely doesn't want to give that podium spot away. He wants to go for 3 in a row for the podium spot. Farina haven't scored a podium since, well, a pretty long time ago. It was at Spanish Grand Prix. So that's about, I don't know, probably 7 races length. But including this one, that would have been 8. Bivona lost positions, but he's still in a title hunt. If there's anything wrong with Mitch Johnson cars, that could be a problem as well. Go Johnson, not doing that bad, to be honest. Stays in 2nd place, but he's about 5 seconds away from Tim Anderson. Lap 14 of 28. the time that Tin Anderson comes around, that would be the half race distance done. Here he goes, lap 15, and he gets the fastest lap as well, 1:19.309. So he's just literally on a roll here for Tin Anderson, and that means we're now past the halfway through the race. Not much action is going on at this point, other than there, you see here over here, Slatko the Robo-Zajevic has to defend from Dia Backers. Backers, after having a chassis change with his teammate back at the Japanese Grand Prix, it seems as though it might be the same fortune. It's not just really not the car. It's really not just the car, but it's probably his luck. It's just he just didn't catch he just can't catch a break for the retirements and etc. And we also see the Robo-Zajevic not doing too shabby on the Williams driver enough. Oh, yo, that is really close to being contacted, no Tormella. Well, you stay right there and nothing happens. Meanwhile, back over here into place, there would be a little bit of battle here going on. Jafari Blackwood looks to trying and get third place back. But I mean, the McLaren, in real life, the McLaren in this area is just utterly terrible. But in this but in IWTR, they're doing pretty decently, to be honest. Not like the big name teams like Ferrari and Red Bull and Mercedes. They're just all the performance they dropped quite significantly. But you see that Petrosian, 18 points, so that 18 points for Mitch Johnson if he stay like this, and the closest rival for him is now Petrosian, which he will score only 4 points. That means, well, he will have 8 points deficit, which that means 11 points will still be in play. 11 points gap between both those two drivers. So for those drivers, they just hope that they would need a miracle to, anything could happen at this point. Because the drivers could make a mistake and then maybe a safety car bound. But lap 17 to 28, nothing happens. Anderson in P1, Johnson second place. Farina still hangs on to third place in front of Jafari Blackwood. There you see Panos Glazos also making up grounds here, 10 points. Score for him! Oh, that is so close to being a nasty incident there for Luca Farina, but now he's lost a little bit of traction, and I think Blackwood, he might as well try dive down inside this corner. No, he waits until the next couple of corners. Here we go. Goes into this corner, very dicey on the back there. You can see Glazos also catching up as well. Very extreme wheel spin there for the McLaren driver. You see everybody just try to navigate through this tight, twisty circuit of Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Goes like, oh, okay, then Farina still have about half a second gap between him and Blackwood. But it's getting really spicy now. You can see now that from 3rd to 5th, they are now battling for positions now. But you see Mitch Johnson trying to catch up with Tin Anderson. Lost a bit of control. Lost a lot of control there for Tin Anderson. That dropped down to 4 seconds gapped. This could be on. Oh, Farina lost. Farina still will stay here, but Blackwood lost a lot of control at this time round. It's now the opposite now. But Blackwood not giving up just yet. He still looks to try to catch up with Farina. Here he goes on board with the 22 car. He goes really close, just make sure that. Oh, well, that's a terrible exit there for the McLaren driver. Terrible exit, but trying to gain speeds back with the slipstream. Oh, made a mistake there for Luca Farina. Hits the curve a little bit too much, but now, and I think Blackwood have a chance here. Here it goes down the inside into turn number 1. Is that going to be enough? Farina still hangs on. Now Blackwood has to go a long way around. No, not enough. Oh, still that's still a solid effort though from Blackwood, but also very defensive maneuver there for Luca Farina to try to defend the position. Bivona in 6th place. Now he's being under attack by Pedrojan. Now it looks as though trying to go for around the outside. No, wasn't enough. Oh, it's a big side there for Wilson, and now I think the fuel is coming down low once again. Living Pasalic in 10th place. He's gonna stay out, I think, for probably one more lap. And there he goes. I think. Oh, you can see 3rd to 5th now. They're just really close on each other. Pounds Glazer still. Oh, contact mate. That might hurt a little bit. Oh, around goes Jafari Blackwood, and I think he just come and clobbers Bivona, the championship contenders. And that, oh, we thought, I think that from, oh, he just went into the curves, and that's on his own. Oh, and then he just didn't know that Bivona would come and slams onto his front wing. Bivona just tried to avoid, but then he couldn't. But that's definitely on Jafari Blackwood there, trying to rejoin the track, but he has to wait until, and that means Bivona chance, Red Bull chance. Both of the Red Bulls having problems this race, and now it goes into the pit lane. Oh, Wilson has a problem. Wilson just lost on the position to Prem Pilch. That's because yeah, she's trying to go for a move. Here we go. Oh, being snapped by Bivona, and then you can see there he goes. Pilch just passed by, and now it's going to be even more frustrating there for her, as she has to battle with Libby Salik. Just go around the outside. Was it going to be enough? No, she still hangs on in 8th place. But yeah, both of the Red Bulls. What on earth is going on with them? There he goes, Bivona. He probably not gonna even pit at all now. Now he has to catch up with everybody else. He might just gone for it though. He might just gone for it. Here it goes now, Livy Basali. He just go around the outside. Not yet. And Mitch Johnson not even lasting the fuel. And now his fuel mileage just came up. There we go. Ten Harrison into the pit lane. The leaders in the pits once again. Farina not coming in. Panos Glazer does come in. Petrujan is coming in this lap. Flandre Wilson doesn't. Pilch also coming in. Leif Pasalik still staying out. So I think he's gonna overtake Prem and Pilch at this point. Oh, don't try this to be a contact. Oh, don't be trying to be a freaking wing fest, man. You're seeing something bad enough there. Petrujan into the pit lane. Probably the only man that could challenge to the title at this point to Mitch Johnson, who is leading the championship right now. Here we go, 7.15. Not a bad stop. And here he goes into P12. It's gonna be anything for Mitch Johnson. He's still staying out for one more lap. What on earth is going on with this man? He's just stretching field like absolute maniac. Luca Farina in second place, Blackman in third, hoping that they could somehow make a move there. Walter Watt in sixth place, 10,007. Zlatko Dorobozarjevic though up to 8th place. But would that be for anything for long? But Atia Bank is there in 9th place. Dylan Hoped in 10th place, not pitting yet. But there you see Panos Glazer is just coming out of the pit lane. And oh, Flanger Wilson out to the field, and that's gonna and one Lotus gone. Well, that's one Lotus gone. Out of field there. Yep, nothing to do with that one. But he just parked on the very dangerous spots there. There is his teammate. He's coming in, seeing his. There he is, her teammate. So yeah, wow. Oh, big side there for Vivona, and now it's gonna. And safety car is coming out. Walter Wagner off the circuit. Well, this could bring a lot of implications now on the track. Walter Wagner also retires after fuel. What about Mitch Johnson though? He's still going on though. And that's gonna be safety car. First time in a while. There goes Bivona trying to go down the inside. Oh, that's Pilch going down the inside. Wasn't enough. Bivona still hangs on in P11. Oh man, there goes now. Patrick Glazer down up to 5th place. Amazing one. And there goes Farina in 4th. Dylan Hope is 3rd. Mitch Johnson is right there, hoping that his fuel could last. But we'll have to wait and see, because now we have 5 retirements of the race now. Walter Wagner, Flanger Wilson, those are for the fuel mileage. Matthew Falcon as well, out of the race. So that's why the safety car being called out. Mitch Johnson just about to make it into the finish, to the pit stop though. Just about to make it. Which that means Tin Anderson and Luca. We'll have to wait and see, because here goes Mitch Johnson. Just coming out of the pit lane. Tin Anderson just coming out of the front stretch. Who's going to take a... It'll be so close! Oh! Well, Mitch Johnson's going to be 2nd place. Tin Anderson just about to pinch it for P1. Full course yellow. It is safety car. Full force now. Farina will be in 3rd. Pans Glazer in 4th. Blackwood in 5th. Pedrojan will be 6th place. Pasalic in 7th place. Bivona, who already pitted earlier, and now in 8th place. Pilch 7 positions up. And Kaya 10 positions up, but he has to pit. He has a low fuel though. Slacko's the Robo Zarjevic will probably gonna take P10 for that. Dylan Hope 12. Well, he pitted the same time as Mitch Johnson, so that means. Well, that means he didn't lose that much of a spot, to be honest. The Diabacas were up to 13th then. Tuamela, 12 I meant. Tuamela 14th. Seplips 15. This is what I'm lost for words. Seplips, this is totally what he wants. The safety car definitely gonna help him, but it may come at a bit of a wrong time, to be honest, because we're so late into the race that the safety car came out. Well, this definitely gonna spice things up quite severely. And there he goes, Esther and Kaya will now into the pit lane. There you see Sepleps at the back of the queue. Well, he's going to gain one positions up, because Esther and Kaya will go to the pits. There he is, into the pits. Oh, Pleb's also going to the pits. But you don't want to lose any position, so might as well pit for whole fuel and tires, basically. 5.48 and 5.7, so that's the fastest pit stop so far that we've seen. Well, this is on. This is definitely on for Plebs and for the other guys as well for the championship hunt. For example, Panacles was in 4th place. He's now right behind Luca Farina. And Farina is just right behind Mitch Johnson, even though Farina is knocked out of the championship earlier on. So we only pretty much have 8 drivers left competing for the championship hunt, the championships. So this will be interesting. Green flag this time around. So here we go. Everybody's just lined up now. Seplevs will be the furthest on the line. And here it goes. Safety car light is out, and we go back under racing conditions once again. Tim Anderson leads the field away. We will only have a couple of laps left. We're lap 25 out of 28. Restart. Anderson still in the lead, but Johnson really just struggling now a little bit. Farina as well, but you can see now Petrosyan looks on a move on Jafari Blackwood. Blackwood's not giving up just yet. Go around the outside, long way around. Petrosyan now up into 5th place, and that will give a bit of a comfy room there for him. There he goes now. Anderson's still making up some grounds here. He just goes into the curves really aggressively. 1 second gap. So the only man that could challenge the championship now is either the Pals Glazers or Petrosyan now. We only have 4 laps to go, but here we go. Anderson in P1, and you see Mitch Johnson in 2nd place. Everybody just scrambling there. Here we go. Oh, contact! Oh, and goes Bremen Pilch, one of the championship contenders. He's probably out, and he's probably going to be the same situation as Sepp Plebs. And also, Adiabak has also lost the front wing as well. Yep, I think that's... Oh man, that's just a little bit of kerfuffle. Concertina effect. Yep, Adiabak has just nowhere to go. Just misjudged the breaking point. Same with Prem Pilch here. Yep, totally missed the breaking point. Thankfully, he didn't hit... he didn't break. I mean, Bivona's cars didn't break at all. So that means players were getting to 2 free positions at this point. If he... Man, Living Vasalik in 7th place. Free to go. So now here goes Farina, just very close on Johnson. He's just trying to go for it, and Mitch Johnson as well also trying to go for a win. Hans Glazer's in 4th now, Petrosyan in 5th. Blackwood dropped back to 6th. Also Bivoda in 7th place. But I mean, is it bad for his championship hunt? I don't know, but Mitch Johnson is going to gain a massive of points here. But here he goes now. Tim Anderson into this hairpin turn. Farina's just trying there. Here it goes. 1 second gap. That will be a fairly long gap to go for. So he has to go, close up so much now. There he goes. Anderson struggling with the tires. Now he's being under attack now by Mitch Johnson. Mitch Johnson, he might have a go for 2 to go. 2 to go in this race. And I think Anderson lost a bit of traction here. Out of the Glazers as well. There's lost some grounds here. And looks like Sedenkai he's trying to fight for the points. Sepp Plebs, he couldn't do anything there, just watch. And there he goes. Oh, trying to go for it. Oh, very close indeed. But that means both of the Williams now are going to get a point now. But if Sedenkaya have the enough guts and willpower to go for it, I think he probably could go for it as well. You see the wings on the track. I think probably someone else. I think. Oh, Jafari Blackwood hits the back of Petrosyan. Goodness gracious, Petrosyan didn't have any damage on his car, but Blackwood does, which that means Plebs will get another free spot, and Bivona as well. Bivona will get a free spot as well if it's like this, but he's holding up the field a little bit. And there he goes. Tim Harrison right there in P1. And there he goes, Luca Farina also trying to attack Mitch Johnson as well. Because it's now down to 6 seconds gap. Final lap of the Canadian Grand Prix. What will happen in this thing? What will happen in this final lap? So, oh boy. It's getting really close, getting really dicey indeed. Here he goes. The back over here, it looks like, oh, the winner's trying to go for a move. Oh, and Kaya just touched the back of both of the Williams of Dylan Hope. Hope still, he's still there. He might even try to overtake his teammate. Yep, he tries to go for it down inside. Down inside. Oh, makes contact. Sarjevic drops back to 8th place, and Kaya is in 9th. And Kaya's in 9th, so that means there'll be some a little bit of kerfuffle here. Here we go, and Kaya trying to go for it. Oh, 15th place. Who's that? Tuamela stuck. He's over there. Oh. Oh, and then he kicks it. Oh no. Please don't end the race like this. Farina is out because of Tuamela's accident. And this is all hell breaks loose now at this point. But you can see there, here he goes back on the front though. Tim Harrison wins the Canadian Grand Prix. Mitch Johnson will be 2nd place, but who will be 3rd now at this point? Who will be Pretroshan? It's going to be side by side to the line. It's going to be who? There's going to be damage on the back. And Glazos just managed to go for a podium, and Pretroshan will go 4th. But there's a lot of kerfuffle on the back there. Oh, and Kaya. And Kaya up to 5th place, and he will finish 5th, and then Dylan Hope 6th place. What on earth is going on at the back? What even is going on with this Grand Prix? It's all hell breaks loose there. Okay, let's have a look what happened to Noah Tuamela first. Jeez, man, I'm lost for words for this one, man. Okay, here we go. So I think Tuamela probably spun earlier on by someone else. Oh, that's a big kerfuffle there. You see that? Oh, it's Plebs spinning around, and that's his teammate Bivona in 9th. Plebs in 10th. They both managed to come back on the track. Where you see Tuamela stuck right there. That caused a big kerfuffle there. Okay, let's see where is the leaders coming in now. So Tuamela just stuck right there, not getting out of there. There it is, the leaders. So yeah, Tim Anderson just about to break through that corner, and then you see there Farina. Oh, the wings flying off, and then you see the wings flying off of Glazos. There you see Farina lost the wheel, and there you see the wheel. A lot of things happened on the back. I think that was Livin Pasalic hit the wheel of Farina's, that causing him to lose the front wing. And there you see, there he goes, Farina there, and he's gonna try to overtake it. You can see over here, setting Kaya. Well, look at what happened to him. Overtakes the Williams, overtake the Toro Rosso, and now you see there is Tuamela now under 1 lap down, which that means Livin Pasalic, you can see over here, try to overtake him, but you can see, and Kaya just goes round the outside and back on the inside, and oh, that's a big whack into the wall of champions there with Livin Pasalic. Yeah, and setting and Kaya, and Kaya, whatever you could pronounce it, he will take P5, and Dylan Hope 13 positions up as well from his starting spot. Very tremendous effort there for that to go on Livin Pasalic. He could have gone better, but he will stay in 7th place. Slako Drobo Zarjevic will finish 8th, Bivona will finish 9th, and Plebs, he thought that he wouldn't score points in this race. He still scored it. P10, the last point scoring position. And who will be fighting for P11? It's gonna be Prem and Pilch. P11, Jafari Black with 12, and then the back is in P13. Goodness gracious. Tuamela will finish 15th. Farina will finish in 14th. Oh, what a Grand Prix. What a Grand Prix that was. It looks as though it is just plain old simple win there for Tin Anderson, but on the back of the field, it's just a freaking wreckfest. But yeah, Tin Anderson, your winner of the Canadian Grand Prix. And Mitch Johnson stretching his gap now to even further. Stretching his gap even further now. But he has to watch out for Petrujan though, because Petrujan P4, which that means he will score 12 points. Mitch Johnson meanwhile scores 6. Which that means there's only 9 points gap between him, Johnson, and Petrujan. I think it's probably 9 points gap. But we have a official scoring positions on the board, but probably next race. Probably next race, because with the investigation of the entire race, it would be absolutely humongous. So we're gonna have to wait for that. yeah, but still, Anderson, your winner of this race. So the points will tally up, and we'll have a look at the next race, which is the final race of the season 3. It's been just absolutely sensational, to be honest. Some of the race being boring, but most of it is just pretty chaotic for me. So that is it for the penultimate round of the IWTR World Formula Series Season 3, Round 13, the Canadian Grand Prix at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Next round, we're heading to the classic and the most historic Brazilian tracks in Formula 1 history, the Autódromo Jose Carlos Pache, or the Interlagos circuit, for the final round of the IWTR World Formula Series Season 3. This is the one to watch, because with the points that close, we're gonna have to wait and see who will come out on top for the Brazilian Grand Prix, and it will be coming up next week on the 15th of May 2022. So it will be absolutely humongous for everybody to work on here, for me and for the staff that we're having right now. So that is it for our broadcast. If you like this kind of content and want to see more of these content, you know, this spicy content, I guess, make sure to subscribe to the International World Tour Racing channel. You can give a like, a share, or subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of the races and the contents that will be coming up in the future. And if you'd like to join this league, I'll put the Discord link in the description below. And that's it for me today. I've been Pauser, your host and your commentator, signing off for today. Goodbye.